So it's actually a nice little shadow that we have. Hey there, welcome back. We've been doing some programming and working on the character movement within a room. One of the things we're going to change with what we've been working on is actually the way the room is displayed. So we're going to go back into our global settings and go back to a non-full screen application. So we're just going to do that for right now. So when we run that for a test, we'll see that it's going to be a lot. our window is a lot smaller. We can still move around, but it's really small. It's not really a good way to present a game to anyone. So we're going to fix that. And I keep popping up those everywhere. So we're going to talk about views and how to use views within the application. So in your settings for a specific room, you have a width and your height, and that is actually how big the contents of the room is. So we can make this really large or small if we want to, but we need to have it bigger than what the view is. So by default, it's going to be where we're just showing whatever the size of our settings are here. And it's the full screen of the room. So we're going to make this larger, make this back to 1920 by 1080. So if we run the program again, we're going to actually get a full room, but everything's still small. So it's way up there in the corner, still can't really see anything, not in a good way. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to enable views. So this is going to change to where we have a portion of the screen and then a view in the screen. And what that will do, so that enable it, and then we're going to make it visible when the room starts. So this is going to draw on our screen how big the view is. This is really the window on the screen. So even though there's things outside the room, this is what's still being displayed. What we want to do is so your port on the screen is how big how big the screen is being displayed. So originally we had our view was room setting was 420 by 270. So we're going to scale that up. So if we change this back to match that and run it, we're still up there in the corner. There's nothing special about it. What we want to do is we want to change the port on the screen to scale the size of what we're showing. So we're going to make it 3 times as large, and just in this case, so we're going to make 860, and I think it's times 3, so 1260. 60 and 810. So what we're going to now do, the view is still small on the screen. Now that scales everything up like we want to. So we can run a window and still see what we want. We can still go off the screen. So one of the things we might want to do is we're going to change to have this follow our character around. So this will allow the screen not to move, or to move around with the boy. Gives him a little flexibility to move around the screen, and then it'll move with him. So if we move, because our port is at the top of the screen, it's not going to follow. But if we go to the right, because there's more room in the room, it'll follow our character. So what we'll do is, just for visual sake, we are going to add some more trees over here. I don't really care if they're, it's just, we can walk through them or not. We're just demonstrating the following of the screen. So as you can see, we know that we just placed more trees over to the right, so we can go over and see those trees because they're still in the room, and the view will follow our character around. We can go down and back up. So this is really how, if you want to have a map, have a lot of things, you can allow the character to move around. The other thing is, what we'll do is, last time, or go back here real quick. So we added the character and added a shadow beneath him. And that's really just a quick and dirty shadow. If we want it to be a lot more exciting and useful, visually entertaining, I guess, we're going to make it a true character shadow. So we're going to go back to the boy, the object. And where before we were drawing his shadow here, so let's just go ahead and comment that out for right now. We are going to redraw our character. So we're going to tell the sprite index, which is whatever sprite we have as the character. We're going to do the image index, so as the character animates, it's going to change with it. The scale, or the XY, will be the same location. What we're going to do is for the we're going to keep the image. We're going to change this instead of 1 to image scale, X scale. So that's the image of. So when he moves right and left, before we when we change direction, we're changing his X scale. We're also going to change his Y scale to like a -1/2. That way, it's pointing down, and it's only like half the height. And so here's the thing to change for the shadow. So for white, we'll just display the character as normal. But if we change this to black, it'll black him out. And then we're going to make it a little bit of a lighter shadow than what we had with our underline. So now, as he walks around, you're going to see his shadow is exactly like his character. When he faces to the left, you see his nose. Goes to the right, you see his right. And then he's walk around. It's not, I don't have anything. So what we're going to create real here quick is something so you can see his shadow a little bit better. nice little brown there. Alright, so we're going to add a little bit of mud. Oh, this is too dark for what we want. And one thing you can do is when you're placing these, you can change the instance and like flip it. So when you're creating a layout, you can have a little bit of variety. So here we go. So you can see, barely, but you can see his shadow still with the line of the mud underneath. So it's actually a nice little shadow that we have. Alright, well that's it for today. We talked about views and we talked about shadow. Next time we'll probably talk about this mud a little bit and see what we can do and make it a little more exciting. And until next time, good luck coding.